Hi, Stephen from Owner Disown. Just a quick unboxing and first impressions of the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. So I bought this on T-Mobile. They got a special offer actually, by the way. It retails for $840, but you can send in your old phone like my S7 Edge and they'll give you $360 off. So I think that makes it quite a good deal. So let's see what we have in the box. So we get the welcome quick start guide, transfer information to transfer all your stuff, health information, terms and conditions. We get the SIM card removal tool. That does look nice. Of course, we get all the SIM card stuff. Now it's powered by the Snapdragon 845 processor, so it has a quick charge 4. It says the adaptive quick charging, and this should allow it to charge up to 50% in 15 minutes. So that's a quick shower and shave job, and that is pretty sweet. I like that. And you've got a USB-C to USB-A adapter, so that's nice to have. Now, this is quite nice. It's like a threaded, tangle-free, I suppose, not a plastic cord, but sort of threaded earphones, and they look quite decent ones. Got the buds there to fit right into your ears, and they're made by AKG. So that's no wonder they do seem better. And we have the charging cable, and in here we've got some spare earbuds. Now you may be deciding, do I go for the S9 or the S9 Plus? Well, the S9 has a 3000 milliamp hour battery, and this has a 3500 milliamp hour battery. So that might be a deciding factor. Of course, screen size, the S9 Plus is a 6.2 inch diagonal screen compared to, say, a 5.8. And to put it in comparison, this is my Pixel 2 XL, which is a 6-inch screen. And you know what? It's the same length. And the Pixel 2 XL is actually wider too, so it's actually a smaller footprint than the Pixel 2 XL, so that's pretty sweet. And here's my S7 Edge, which was a 5.5 inch screen. You know what, there's not that much difference there between the two. It really isn't. So it's quite amazing what they can do, and compared to the S8 and the S8 Plus, they have reduced the bezel slightly. As I understand it, the sensors here in the top, they made it less visible, so it blends in nicer, so it makes the screen blend in nicer to the dark background there. So I think that looks pretty good. So the screen resolution on both the S9 and S9 Plus is 2960 by 1440. It's a Super AMOLED display, and it's looking at it so far, it looks really nice and sharp. And of course, they've changed the fingerprint reader. The S8 was at more towards the side. But here it's directly beneath the camera, which I still think is going to be a bit of a problem perhaps, because it's close to the camera and you may smudge your camera lens. I would have preferred it more like the Pixel 2 XL, where it was, the camera's a little bit offset, but I suppose we'll see what that's like. Now it is quite small compared to the Pixel 2 fingerprint reader. So both the S9 and the S9 Plus have a dual aperture camera, so that's an f1.5 to f2.4. So the f1.5 would be great for low light situations, and the f2.4 good for general good lighting. And it does it adaptive on the fly on auto mode, but you can go into pro mode and change that manually yourself. So that is pretty good feature to have. So the S9 Plus has 2 cameras. The one is a 77 degree field of view camera, 12 megapixel, whilst the other one is a telephoto with a 2x optical zoom, again 12 megapixel. Now you don't get that on the S9, so if you wanted to, be able to zoom in slightly, you don't want to go for the S9 Plus. Plus also you have what's called live focus, or like the Pixel 2 XL portrait mode. It has the ability to do a bokeh sort of background blur effect, which is what I like for my thumbnails. And the problem I had with the Pixel 2 XL, it did great ones for people or bulky objects, but for laptops it sucked. It just did not work. So, and that was a shame. So I'm hoping this will do a little bit better on that. And the low light abilities, I'm counting on that also for my overhead shots when it's a little bit dark. it might help you on that as well. Now the front camera on both phones is an 8 megapixel aperture of 1.7 and a field of view of 80 degrees. So that should be quite a decent front facing camera. To help with the low light, I understand that it does multi-frame noise reduction, which does help reduce the noise in those low light scenes. So that would be interesting to test out. Now both cameras have optical image stabilization, and the S9 Plus has a 10 times digital zoom, while the S9 has an 8 times zoom. But you know, digital zoom is not particularly the best, is it? Both phones can record up to 4K at 60 FPS, 1080p slow-mo at 240 FPS, or even 720p at 960 FPS. So great for those slow motion shots. And they both have automatic focus and face detection. Both are powered by the Snapdragon 845, which goes up to 2.8 gigahertz. It's an 8-core CPU, and it's got the Adreno 630 graphics. So it's quite a powerhouse, but Samsung is known for its bloatware, and indeed it's got the Bixby, which I've heard reports that it runs slow and probably bogs it down. So that's that's one thing I will be checking out. Storage-wise, they all come with 64 gigabytes of memory, but you can put a micro SD card in and up to 400 gigabyte SD card. So that is fantastic there. The S9 comes with 4 gigabytes of RAM, which I believe is going to be perfectly fine, and the S9 Plus ups that to 6 gigabytes, which is probably a bit overkill, but hopefully that might speed it up a little bit. Now this time around, they do go for 2 speakers, which is great. One comes out the earpiece and one out the bottom, and it uses Dolby Atmos technology. And by all accounts, they do get quite loud, so I'm looking forward to testing those. In terms of the power button is here on the side, and the volume rocker is a little bit higher up. You think it'll be where your index finger is here, but it's not. It's higher up, so it's a little bit more awkward to reach, I see. It's water resistant IP68, which is 30 minutes up to 1.5 meters. Now the colors you can get on this, like the one I've got here, it's like a lilac purple color. You can get a blue or a black. So there's quite a few different options available. And its thickness, it looks pretty thin. It's 8.5 millimeters thick. So it's actually thinner than the Pixel 2 XL. It's about the same as the S7 Edge. So it's pretty thin, but you know, you're going to be putting a case on, no doubt. All right, well, that's it. So let me know in the comments below what you'd like me to test. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.